Hey guys, it is Saturday, and as you can tell from outside behind me, it is a super gloomy, rainy day. So today we are going to spend some time cleaning. It's very seldom do I get all my guys corralled, but when I do, I utilize them, and they're not afraid to help clean and get things together for me. So we're going to spend some time cleaning today, and while we do, we're going to listen to one of our favorite things, which is old time radio programs. We've talked in the past before about our choices of entertainment. We've listened to radio programs. I know you can say you don't have a TV, and it's really not a big deal because most people have internet and you can streamline anything you want through the internet. If that's how you choose to use it. So, but years ago, when we got rid of our TV, there was nothing that came into the homes if you didn't have a television. And we got hooked on old time radio programs. We used to get them from our local library, and then we were able to find really good deals on cases. Sam's Club used to carry them. So that really got us hooked. And we really enjoy spending time together as a family listening to it. The great thing about radio programs that my kids have always enjoyed and that we've enjoyed is you can do other things while you listen to them, and you don't have to feel like you're glued to a screen. A disclaimer here, like with anything, it's not always the content of what you choose to entertain yourself with. Sometimes it's just the quantity, so you don't want to get overloaded on that. But used in the right way, radio programs are a great source of entertainment, and they're actually they can kind of unite you. You can interact in games and stuff while you're listening. Your total attention doesn't have to be on something like a screen. So this is where today's video is going. We want to share with you today one of our favorite radio programs, and we're actually doing like a podcast style video today. I know that there have been podcasts going on for a long time, and I know that some people on YouTube do like live podcasts. They don't stream the video in. They just put a picture up and they'll do a live podcast for like an hour. An hour is really long for me. And some people have asked us about doing live videos, and right now we can't do it because there's always so much commotion and chaos going in our home. As precious and adorable as our two little ones are, they are never quiet, okay? So when you see me do a video, it's because I've wrangled them into a corner and entertain them in another way, looking at books. Right now I've got one of the older boys up there reading for me. Lots of times I do videos when they're doing chores with their father. It's just things like that. So a live broadcast wouldn't work. But last week, well, actually, the boys have been after me for a while, especially RJ and Josiah, to do a podcast. Now, my hesitation has been this. When I hear podcast, even though I know that there have been people doing the live type podcast on YouTube, but when I hear podcast, I hear another platform. And I'm not desiring at this point in time to include or to figure out, to get comfortable with another platform. So I've just kind of shied away from that. But last week, Homestead Tessie did a podcast, and it was so quirky and fun. She did it for 10 minutes. It wasn't long at all. She did a radio announcement or a weather announcement. She played a song, and she did a little talking. That was really fun. So that got me to thinking about RJ's suggestion about podcasts, and then it got me to thinking about the radio programs that Josiah is like this encyclopedia for dead people, okay? Entertainers of the past, because today's entertainers are not to knock the person, but they follow the morality and the values of today's society, and they're just not worth watching. So he's a walking encyclopedia. He's a walking encyclopedia of people from the radio era. One thing I want to point out I know a lot of you are familiar with radio shows, old time radio shows, but if you're not, and this is what I want to point out, you have to remember that the majority of the radio shows were in the 30s and 40s. By the 50s, it had started to fade out, though there were still radio shows going on. But the height of it was in the 30s and 40s. We were a much more patriotic country at that time. We had gone through the Depression. We were now in World War II. There were not social warriors, all right? The social warriors at the time were warriors that were out defending our country. So there wasn't a need for a lot of apologies and to watch, the P's and Q's, because people took things. People didn't need their safe place, all right? Their safe place was their homes, and they understood that there was humor that was needed. And there was also, they could laugh at themselves. So it was not a degrading thing. Now, however, it's like the radio show we're going to do today is Fibber McGee and Molly. It was done in 1943, and it was, I think it's called, I got to look at my cheat sheet here, Fibber's Being Followed by a Spy. Now, you got to remember, 1943, we're at the height of the war, all right? We've only been in it 6 months, but the war had been going on for a while. Though there was never really any spies caught in the U.S. to great degrees, the threat was still serious, and people took it seriously. At that time, by 1943, we were not aware, America was not aware, the world was not aware of the Nazi extermination camps, or as we are familiar with calling them, the concentration camps. What a concentration camp meant prior to the revelation of what the Nazis had been doing was a concentration camp was concentrating what were deemed prisoner of war, enemies, in one spot. It wasn't starving them. It wasn't anything like what the Nazis had done. It was bringing them into one spot. So when you hear little jokes made in old-time radio programs, if you keep things into perspective, we don't have to break out the social warriors. We don't have to go hide in our safe place. We can understand the mentality of the day. So there is a joke in there about a concentration camp, and I just wanted to clear that up, that at that time, America wasn't even aware, the world wasn't even aware of Nazi Germany's atrocities. Fibber McGee and Molly started in 1935, and they ran until 1959. It was a hit show from the beginning, and it near the end, because radio was being replaced with TV, it actually waned quite a bit, and Marion, who played Molly, they were really married. Jim Jordan and Marion Jordan were really married in real life. She was going through some difficult times, and so he was doing a lot of the shows on his own when it came to an end. But 1943, they are at their height of stardom and humor, and it's a quirky, fun show. It runs for a half hour. They have their skits. They do a little music, and they have the same characters every week. So you get to know these characters as you listen to different episodes that they present. So at any rate, I just wanted to share that today. After this point, for the rest of the video, we're just putting a picture up, and we're going to play the radio program. We hope you really enjoy it. Let us know your feedback if you like this. If you like the radio show and you want to hear some more, we can put some more up. But this is just what we do for our family sometimes for entertainment, and we're going to clean to it today. We'll probably clean to several of them today, but this was one of our favorite ones. So we'll talk soon. God bless.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly, brought to you each Tuesday in America and by transcription and shortwave broadcast to our men in uniform overseas. Makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with a Shine on Your Shoes. If you don't know the best way to take care of the finish of your car, will you let me make a suggestion? There's a Johnson combination product called Carnu, spelled C-A-R-N-U, that both cleans and polishes in one application. If you'll try Carnu just once on your car, I know you'll be delighted with the results. Carnu saves time and work and money. It's a liquid polish. You rub it on, let it dry, and wipe it off. It gives your car back its original showroom shine. Makes it sparkle with a minimum of work. Then, if you want to give added protection to the finish, save car washings, make cleaning still easier, you can add a coat of wax, either Johnson's Auto Wax or the regular household wax. Take better care of your car with Johnson's Car News. Well, sir, espionage has come to Wistful Vista. At least Fibber McGee thinks so. Every place he goes, there's a small, dark man with a semi-concealed camera taking pictures of this and that. And here at 79 Wistful Vista, discussing his suspicions, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
I'm telling you, Molly, the guy is a spy. Every place I go, there he is, snapping pictures. Click, 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 all day long, with that little camera.
Well, where, for instance?
Outside the Elks Club, and down by the bridge, and near the railroad station, the powerhouse, and every place.
Well, I don't know, McGee. Somehow I can't think of the Elks Club as a military objective. Though it might be classified as an ammunition dump.
What you mean?
Well, there's so much lead sitting around there.
But the bridge, and the powerhouse, and the railroad station, them are all military objections.
For that matter, what were you doing around the railroad station and the powerhouse and the bridge?
I was to all them places on business.
What business?
Well, I had to go to the station to mail an important letter. Wanted to get it off on the 142.
Whom were you sending it to?
The National College of Self-Improvement in Harmonica Playing. You'll admit my harmonica playing could be improved.
I'll confess that without being tortured. But what were you doing at the power station?
There was a bunch of linemen down there installing a new transformer.
Yes?
Yes. And I always been fascinated the way them guys can climb up a telephone pole with them spurs of theirs. One guy, a fellow named Joe, got a sliver in his leg, and he...
Remind me to send flowers, dearie. But I still don't know what you were doing there.
I was watching them, doggone it. The guy can't sit around the Elks playing rummy all day long, can he? And there was this guy with his little clamor. Click, 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 all day long. You know what first made me suspicious of him?
What?
Every time I'd look at him, he'd look away.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
McGee, I love you, but don't get the idea that everybody who doesn't like to look at you for hours at a time is a foreign spy. Heavenly days, the whole country will wind up in a concentration camp.
And just the same, there was something fishy about that guy. I think he's another Harry Matty.
A what?
A Harry Matty. You know, a spy. Harry Matty was shot in the last war when they caught her trying to conceal...
No. That was Mata Harry.
I can't be bothered with little details about...
Come in.
Oh, hi, Latrivia.
Why, hello, Mr. Mayor.
Good day, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee. Do I understand that you called my office this morning?
I certainly did, Latrivia. They told me you were in a council meeting and couldn't be bothered.
Couldn't be disturbed, I believe she said.
Well, what's the difference? You don't seem to realize, Latrivia, that you're working for us. We pay you. You're just a public servant, and we're the public. When we want something, you ought to snap out of
McGee.
it. Huh?
Don't talk like that to Mayor Latrivia. What'd you call him for, anyway?
Yes, I'd like to know, too, McGee. Like most taxpayers, you seem to labor under the delusion that public officials should come running to wipe your little noses every time you sneeze. If Mrs. McGee will pardon my plain speaking.
Mrs. McGee loves it.
Look, Latrivia, I wanted to report a suspicious-looking guy that's hanging around town.
McGee, if we arrested every odd-looking man in this town, Wistful Vista would soon be known as the Deserted Village. It would be a ghost town.
Well, McGee thinks this man was a spy, Mr. Mayor.
He is a spy. I'm convinced. He takes pictures, click, 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 all day long, of everything of importance in this town. He's been following me for 2 days now. He carries a camera under his coat.
Does he look intelligent?
No. He looks like he'd had nothing above his eyes but sinus trouble. But that don't mean that...
I'm inclined to take it lightly myself, Mr. Latrivia, but maybe it would be better to investigate.
Very well, I'll have him picked up for questioning. Do you wish to sign a complaint?
Sure I do.
Oh, well, then if you were wrong, dearie, there'd be nothing against you but a charge of false arrest. malicious prosecution and invasion of private rights.
That's all. You might get out of it for as little as $100,000 in damages.
Why don't I keep my big mouth shut? Forget picking him up, Latrivia. I'll get the goods on him myself. He thinks he's trailing me. Well, I'll trail him.
Well, what fun. Can I play, too? And if we all join hands, we can keep better track of each other.
Well, if that's all you wanted, McGee, I'd better be running along. Wait a minute. Look out the window, McGee.
Huh? Where?
Under that big tree across the street. Is that the man?
You mean the one looking this way with his hat pulled down over his eyes?
That's him. That's the guy. What's he doing?
Looks like he's focusing a camera on your front door, McGee.
If they come out good, I'll take a dozen.
This is no time for joking, Molly. Look, Latrivia, you walk down the street and we'll see if he follows you.
Me?
Scared?
No. I'll keep my mouth closed so he won't plant a bomb under my bridges.
Oh,
I'll call you from my office and see what happens.
we'll be watching. Goodbye, Mr. Mayor.
Goodbye, Mr. McGee.
And, Latrivia,
Yes?
if anything happens to you, well, I'll always remember you as the best mayor we ever had.
A friend of the people.
He wore no man's collar.
Fearless and independent.
A credit to his party. The working man's pal.
Stop it, for heaven's sake. Nothing's going to happen to me. You watch. Keep an eye on him, McGee.
Good luck.
Gee, I hope nothing does happen.
Oh, heavenly days, McGee. What do you suppose?
Oh, my gosh. I completely forgot.
Forgot what?
When I realized that guy was following me, I strung a rope across the porch step.
Still out there. He didn't follow the mayor at all.
What'd I tell you? It's me he's after.
Well, I don't know why he should be interested in you. You don't have any military secrets. And even if you did, everybody knows you couldn't keep them. Which may be why you haven't got any.
Maybe them guys have discovered what I'm working on.
Well, then they're smarter than I am. What are you working on?
You won't tell?
Certainly not.
Okay. I'm working on an idea for the Signal Corps. I'm going to try and breed a triple-cross bird. I'm going to cross a homing pigeon with a woodpecker, and then cross the result of that with a parrot.
With what object in mind?
To get a bird that will fly to the right place, knock on the door, and speak the message.
That's marvelous. Why don't you work an ostrich in there, too?
Huh?
Then if pursued by an enemy, he can stick his head in the sand and they can't hear what he says.
Say, maybe you got something. Oh, no. That ain't practical. I thought for... Uh-oh. Wonder if that's him.
No. He's still across the street. Come in.
Well, I'll be a Horatio K. Boomer.
Hello, Mr. Boomer.
Good day, my dear. And a messy May morning to you, monkey face.
Just what is it that you think you can do us for today, Boomer?
Now, that's no way to talk to a guest. Or anybody else, McGee. Maybe Mr. Boomer has a very legitimate reason for this intrusion, or this visit.
Certainly have, my Pippin, certainly have. Salvaging metal for the government. Wanted to see if you had any gold or silver lying around that you can spare.
Gold or silver?
That's what I said, pistachio puss. Now, let me see. We could start with this gold wristwatch of yours, needle nose, and maybe we...
Let go of my watch, you nimble-knuckled nephew of Nicodemus.
We won't give you a thing, Mr. Boomer, unless you have some proper credentials.
I'll say not. You're as crooked as a plate of spaghetti. I wouldn't trust you as far as I could nudge the Normandy. Let's see your credentials.
Why, certainly. Credentials, have them right here someplace. Now, let me see. Here's a fresh package of bubble gum. Take it, my boy.
What does he want with bubble gum?
Don't know, my dear, but I always carry it in case I meet some little blowhard. How would I put those credentials?
Maybe you forgot the forge any.
No, I spent all yesterday afternoon. What was I looking for? Oh, yes, credentials. Here's a short length of lead pipe. Had to work on a little drip last night. Stubborn fellow. Here's a package of new $10 bills.
Say, what's Lincoln's picture doing on a $10 bill?
Sure, it ought to be Alexander Hamilton.
Isn't that amazing? And that stupid engraver of mine majored in American history at Leavenworth. How are those credentials? Here's a small woman's handbag. Given up trying to take them from large women. And a check for a short beer. Well, imagine that.
No credentials.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, sorry we couldn't do any business, my tiresome little twosome. Better luck next time. Good day, my dear, and cheap cheerio to you, chipmunk.
Hey, I wonder where Mr. Boomer's been all this time.
When a guy like him ain't been seen any place for exactly 90 days, you can draw your own conclusions. Hey, look, that spy is still out there. I think I'll go out someplace and see if I get followed some more.
Oh, no, don't, McGee. Something might happen.
Oh, I can take care of myself. I'll wear my badge.
Which one? Junior G-Man or chicken inspector?
Those are just gag badges, Molly. I got a deputy sheriff's badge from Peoria. See?
Oh.
Yeah.
You going to make him follow you all the way to Peoria?
Oh, no. Now, look. Here's what I'll do. I'll walk kind of casual down toward the airport, then out to the steelworks.
Hello, folks. Say, what are you looking so serious about?
Somebody's been following McGee around, Mr. Wilcox.
Yeah, and he keeps taking pictures of me. Click, 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 all day long. Every place I go.
Oh, who is he?
Well, we don't know. McGee thinks he's a foreign spy.
Say, that's strange. I had an odd experience last Saturday night myself.
Yeah?
I followed a suspicious-looking man all over town.
Heavenly days, I'm getting the creeps. Who was he, Mr. Wilcox?
A spy?
That's what I thought. He first attracted my attention when I saw him come out of a doorway, sort of hiding a bundle under his coat.
Oh.
He looked both ways up the street and then sneaked off down an alley.
Excuse me, boys, while I run up and wash my hair. I might as well do it while it's standing on end.
Wait a minute, Molly. Wait a minute. Maybe Harlow followed the same guy that's been after me.
Oh, I don't think so, Fibber.
No?
You see, I followed this fellow to the far side of town.
Yeah?
Through alleys, up side streets, over fences, and through vacant lots.
Well, he could hardly go through a lot that wasn't vacant.
Oh, cut it out, Molly. I want to hear this. Go on, Frank.
Well, finally he looked around cautiously
Yeah?
and ducked into a garage. I crept up and peeked through the window.
I'll bet he was a bootlegger with a boot for one of his tires, huh?
No, sir. No, sir. He took a container of Johnson's car new from under his coat, and in almost no time, he had a dull, dingy-looking jalopy looking like it just came off the sales room. You know how car new cleans and polishes in one application, gives a beautiful luster with a minimum of effort. Well, sir?
Now, wait a minute, Wilcox. What the Sam Hill was he sneaking around town for? Why wasn't he proud to be seen with a container of car new like everybody else?
That's what I asked him. He said he didn't want anybody to tell his mother because he was surprising her by polishing her car for Mother's Day.
McGee, stop gnawing your nails.
Well, it was either that or say something the sponsor might regret. Do you have to take advantage of situations like this, Wilcox? Can't you be honest and manly and come right out and sell car new?
Oh, the trouble with you, Fibber, is you haven't got any sense of dramatic values. What kind of a story would Robinson Crusoe have been if Victor Hugo hadn't built up the suspense? Well, let me know if your spy is carrying car new, too.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah?
Did Victor Hugo write Robinson Crusoe?
Why, of course not. It was written in the first person, so Robinson Crusoe must have written it himself.
Well, that's what I thought. Everybody knows Victor Hugo wrote Sherlock Holmes.
No, dearie. That was Mark Twain.
What did I say, Victor Hugo?
Yeah.
I meant Mark Twain. Well, anyway, hey, what's the matter?
McGee, that man is still there and still watching this house.
Oh, he is he? Give me my hat. I'm going out and find out.
No, McGee, be careful now. Those men are ruthless and cruel, you know.
What do you think I am, a Casper milkshake? I can handle him. First, I'll chop him across the throat with the edge of my hand like this. Ooh. Oh.
Say, if you were as dangerous to other people as you are to yourself, I wouldn't let you out of my sight. What are you going to do, McGee?
I'm going to take a walk and see if that guy follows me some more.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Just around town a little.
Well, for goodness sakes, be careful now. I don't... Say, what are we whispering for?
I don't know what you're whispering for, but I hit myself in the neck so hard I can't talk. I'll be back in a little while.
The King's Men sing America's Calling.
Sons of America, your America's calling to you. Father of waters, let your sons and daughters echo the cry, thank God for freedom. Raise island palisades, guard the home of the red, white, and blue. From border to border and coast to coast, America's calling to you. Oh, say, have you seen your America? Have you seen the Swanee shore? Oh, say, have you seen America? From the plains of Idaho down to Mexico. Have you seen the fields of Iowa? Have you crossed the great divide? Have you seen all the glories of Washington? Have you seen the giant redwoods that are California's pride? Oh, say, have you seen your America from the hills of Tennessee? Oh, say, have you seen America from the San Francisco Bay to the Great White Way? Have you seen Dakota's prairie land and the Lone Star's Alamo? Have you seen Valley Forge and the Delaware? Have you seen a certain statue with its giant torch aglow? You sons of America,
That guy still behind us, Molly?
Yes, he just ducked into a doorway.
I'm glad you decided to come with me after all. Two of us can watch him better than just one. Think he knows we're on to him?
Yes, I think he began to suspect something when you stuck your tongue out at him the first time.
He even took a picture of that. Click, click, click. I'm getting tired of being a photographer's model for a doggone foreign spy. Click, 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 all day long.
Getting on my nerves, too, McGee. I really think you ought to call the FBI.
Okay, I'll duck into the cigar store down there and call. You wait outside and see what he does.
I will not. I'll come in with you and watch him through the window. I'm not going to be kidnapped and taken to Germany on a submarine. You know how I get seasick.
Oh, they won't do anything. Uh-oh. Look who's coming down the street. Mrs. Uppington.
I wonder what she's looking so important about.
About 3/4 of the time, if you'll ask me.
Should we tell her about that spy following us?
I think we better. He might take her for overage battleship and scuttle her.
It's unthinkable that she'd be thinkable, though. And hello there, Abigail, darling.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. McGee? And Mr. McGee?
Why, stranger, you know you're in danger?
I beg your pardon, Mr. McGee. In danger of what?
Look, Abigail, you see that fellow over there? He's a spy.
Good heavens, not really. Do you suppose he could have escaped from some Alfred Hitchcock picture?
Don't take this so lightly, Uppy. For all we know, he may be planning to blow this whole town up tomorrow night.
Oh, but he can't do that.
Huh?
I have a bridge party planned for next Friday.
Even Boston couldn't put a war off for a tea party, Abigail. This man is dangerous. You know, he's been following McGee all day long, taking pictures and sneaking around like a regular easel.
You mean weasel, Molly.
Yes, and easel is used for pictures.
Well, that's what they're using him for. Now, you be careful, Abigail. You know, he's seen you talking to us, so he may include you in his dirty work.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing is simply ridiculous. I have a good notion to walk over to him and demand an explanation.
You won't think that's such a good notion if he pulls a gun on you.
That is absurd. It's against the law to discharge firearms within the city limits.
Well, maybe so. But now we're telling you, Abigail, he's a dangerous character.
Well, what should I do?
Just walk on unconcerned, Uppy. I'm calling the FBI in a minute.
Yeah, just take it easy, Abigail. We'll let you know what happened.
Oh, well, thank you very much for warning me. Oh, I do hope this spy is caught. I should be so helpless in a concentration camp.
Why you particularly?
Well, Mr. McGee, you know how difficult it is for me to concentrate. Well,
Hey, here's the cigar store. I'm going in and phone. You won't be scared?
Certainly now. Now go on in and phone.
Okay, I'll be right out.
Me and my shadow, da-dee-da.
Oh, hello there, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wimple. Say, now, don't look now, but there's a foreign spy over there taking our picture.
Oh, goodness. Doesn't he look repulsive?
Yes. McGee is inside the cigar store now, telephoning the FBI.
There must be quite a wave of crime and espionage in town, Mrs. McGee. You know, I caught a burglar jimmying his way into our house when I came home last night.
Oh, heavenly days, really? What'd you do?
I opened the door for him on condition that he'd go in first.
And did he do it?
Yes. The poor fellow. Sweetie Face thought it was me, and before you could say, "Where's the iodine?" she was shaking salt all over him.
Salt? What was that for?
Oh, that's just a little joke of Sweetie Face's. She likes to tie people up in knots like a pretzel and then shake salt over them.
Oh. Well, you're lucky you didn't go into the house first.
Oh, I don't know, Mrs. McGee. Lately, Sweetie Face has been very nice about my coming in late. The minute I tippy-toe in the front door, she gives me my slippers and my pipe and the latest novel.
Oh, she does?
Yes, right in the face. You see,
It's okay, Molly. They got an agent on his way over here right now. Oh, hi, Wimp.
Hello, Mr. McGee. My, you seem excited.
Well, I should think he would be.
You better get going, Wimp. There's a federal dick on his way over here, and there's liable to be some gunplay. You better go, too, Molly.
I will not. I'll just stand behind this wooden Indian here.
I'm really not an Indian, Mrs. McGee. My father...
No. She meant this cigar store Indian, Wimp.
Oh. Well, then, if you don't need me, I'll be trotting along, folks. I promised to take Sweetie Face to the circus.
Oh, really? Does Sweetie Face like circuses?
Oh, this is strictly business, Mrs. McGee. One of the gorillas is getting vicious, and they asked Sweetie Face to come over and slap him around a little.
Well, what did the FBI say when you called them up, dearie?
Oh, they said they were getting a lot of phony tips these days, but they couldn't afford to ignore any of them, so they said they'd be right over. Hey, look.
Heavenly days, look at them. They surrounded that man before he even saw them.
Yeah, he's showing them some cards. Uh-oh, they're looking over here. Boy, I bet I get a medal from the government for this. Catching a foreign spy is
McGee,
Huh?
look. They're laughing.
What?
Yeah.
Don't tell me he's got them fooled, too.
Well, we'll soon know. Here comes an FBI man.
You, Mr. McGee, did you call the FBI?
You're darn right I did, Bud. That guy there's been following me around all day, taking pictures. Click, click, click. Every place I went.
And where was that?
Oh, the Elks Club and the railroad station and the airport and the powerhouse.
And that excavation down at 14th and Oak, and the softball game on the corner lot at Maple Street.
Yes, every place. He's a spy, that's what he is.
I beg your pardon, madam. We know that man quite well, and he is not a spy.
Oh, no? Well, what is he?
He's a photographer for a national magazine.
Well, then why's he been following my husband around all day?
Well, he told me to tell you he was sorry if he'd caused you any annoyance, but he's working on an assignment.
A likely story. What kind of an assignment could that be?
He says they wanted him to get up a picture story on how a small-town busybody spends his time.
Any old rags or rubber or metal today, ladies? Have you joined the scrap brigade? In this week's issue of Life magazine, there's an advertisement by the makers of Johnson's Wax with suggestions to patriotic housewives on how to salvage valuable scrap materials for war production. You can help your country while you're doing your own spring house cleaning. You'll find suggestions there also on how to make your house cleaning easier all year by the regular use of genuine Johnson's Wax, paste or liquid, for protecting your floors, furniture, and woodwork. Wax provides the easy, inexpensive way to take better care of your things. It gives wood, leather, painted surfaces a shield of protection against wear. And as an extra dividend, it gives that much-desired rich, mellow beauty that you find only in wax-protected homes. There are 100 labor-saving uses for Johnson's Wax, paste or liquid, in your home. You can now buy Johnson's Wax also in cream form, especially formulated for the care of furniture and woodwork.
Hey, Molly.
Yes?
You know what?
No, what?
I think that guy fooled them government fellas. I still think he's a spy.
Oh, you do?
Yes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going out for a walk and see if he follows me anymore.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who arrived late may remain for the next show. This is where you came in.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for home and industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. And reminding you that the government is in urgent need of 55,000 young women to enter schools of nursing this year and prepare themselves for national defense. Ask your state Nurses Association for further information. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.